welcome to JB Sports. I'm your host, Jonathan Burton, and it is Wrestling Wednesday. Today, all about wrestling. To start, we are starting with SmackDown results. Then we're going to Raw. Then we will go to maybe some storyline stuff, some stuff that I want to talk about more after we talk about the two results. So first, SmackDown. Some of the biggest things, DIY retained their tag team titles they won 2 weeks ago in an amazing match. That one is not as big, but it's a good start for DIY for their tag team title reign. It's very good for them to win against the team that won at WrestleMania, so we will see where it goes for them. I will get into their storylines they can get to later. Next, I think I'm just going to talk about some of the biggest things, not everything, just more big things. Nia Jax convinces Tiffany Stratton not to cash in. Nia Jax had a match. She won that match. Then she beat up Bayley. Tiffany Stratton went to cash in the Money in the Bank, and Nia Jax was livid. She was so mad at Tiffany for trying to take that title away from Bayley because, of course, everybody knows Nia Jax won Queen of the Ring, so she has a title shot against Bayley at SummerSlam. Tiffany, I think it's good to wait with it because it builds up the story with the Money in the Bank. Because I think the Money in the Bank is good to have on the women's side this year round. I think the men's, the more you thought about it, it had less of a place in the storyline, so I think that was fine. But I think it's going to be good for Tiffany to have this little struggle with Nia and hold it for a while. Next, LA Knight lines up his challenge for Logan Paul. I've been saying this. LA Knight is the next challenger for Logan Paul. Logan Paul has been holding the title for, I think, 280 plus days. Last time I checked, somewhere around that, maybe a little less. But he's had 2 title defenses. He's put on good matches for it, but half the matches he's had since he got the title back have been titles not involving matches that haven't been involving his title at all. So it was fun to see him win it, and he had a good match at WrestleMania, and he had a good defense match. But I think it's time for him to either start actually wrestling more with the title, or it's time to give someone else the title. So LA Knight, I've been saying this, I think he's the one to take the title at SummerSlam away from Logan Paul. Even though it's in Ohio, Logan Paul will be cocky, he'll think he can't lose, and then he loses the title to LA Knight. Yeah. So, off that, you have the Bloodline absolutely kill Randy Orton and Cody. Cody goes out before in the show. Randy, he's doing his thing where he's looking at the title. Everyone's getting really ooh, look at Randy getting close to the title again. But he was saying to Cody that he had Cody's back no matter what. He wasn't going to let the Bloodline decimate them. He was going to have his back, not let them. Yeah. So basically, it gets to the end of the show. Cody's talking. The Bloodline come out. They surround him. They start attacking him. After Cody cuts a pretty good promo. But the Bloodline come out. They start wailing on him. Left, right. Jacob's doing his crazy stuff. And then Randy comes out. They fight off for a few seconds. And then it's back to the beats. The Bloodline just start decimating them both. They lock Cody up in the ring ropes by the arms. And then they get Randy up and powerbomb him through the table. You're making Solo look good. You're making Solo look better because they gave him the Samoan, I don't know if they're called beads or something, but you gave him that at the end. Gave him the ending screen. You're making Solo look way better than he was looking before. Power-wise, reality-wise, he can actually do something against them. But at SummerSlam, Cody's going to win. I see people saying Solo's going to win. You're out of your mind. There is no way Cody loses his title this quick after beating Roman Reigns, who has been he was 3 years as champ, basically 3 years. you're not gonna lose the title that fast. Especially on Gunther's side, he's not gonna lose the title that fast. That's why the Money in the Bank wouldn't have made too much sense. So Solo, he's looking better. He should have not win. People actually think he's gonna be Cody at SummerSlam. You're crazy. So next week, Raw results. Raw was the week before Rhea Ripley came back, so this was a very important Raw. Damian Priest, Gunther, head to head. Oh, actually, no, sorry. Rhea Ripley kicked off Raw. Pretty good. A great pop for her. And then Dom came out. Dom tries to explain himself. All this. Dom's dead. Dom is absolutely dead. He is just... He's in the doghouse. He's sleeping on the couch. He can do nothing to... later in the show, you'll see what she says. But next after that, Priest and Gunther go face to face. Gunther has a wild promo. He says some truths in my opinion, your reign hasn't been credible, no prestige. To be fair, he hasn't really won any big matches by himself. So he hasn't had prestige, but there's other stuff that happened that was wild that I'm not gonna. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter versus Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. It ends up Sonya Deville go with Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. It's okay. I'm not too interested in it. They can bring something from it because Sonya Deville is probably my favorite out of the three just because she's had some good work before, but I don't really like any of them too much. Jey Uso versus Dominic Mysterio. It's the usual Dominic Mysterio match. Liv Morgan. Dom was kicked on to Liv Morgan. They had their ended up on top, stuff like that. And then Rhea Ripley came out. And Liv Morgan, no one, just went running to the back. Mysterio tries to plead with Rhea again. He goes back in and just eats a spear. 1, 2, 3. And Dom loses. Like always. He's not winning many matches. And then after, Jay looked at Rhea and did the call me thing, which was funny. Chad Gable calls out Bo Dallas and he says, guys, there's been a big mystery. I figured it out. Bo Dallas is actually Uncle Howdy. That was funny. Bo Dallas comes up and, like I've been saying, the Creed brothers, who should be with Chad Gable, finally come out. They're with Chad. They beat up Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas is just laughing hysterically. It's very... very creepy, and it was at the end. Gable and the Creed brothers run away. Gable left them at first, and they had no idea where it went, but they ran out. And the Wyatt Six had a very good moment in the ring. So next, the Intercontinental Championship match: Sami Zayn, Ilya Dragunov. If you have Ilya Dragunov in a match, it's going to be a banger. It was pretty good, but who is there to ruin the match? Braun Breaker. He literally just took out everybody. He kills everyone. You see him run out, you're gonna be gone. He does not. He kills everybody. You're in the ring and Braun Breaker comes out. You might as well just walk away. You might as well just say, hey, beat him up, I'll leave, make this job easier for you. Because Braun Breaker, he comes in, spears you, throws you around, punches you, anything he wants, and then he just leaves. He probably will get another fine because he's been getting those every week. But that's that's something you want to keep an eye on, because Braun Breaker, he is the future in the WWE to me. He is going to be an amazing superstar. He's going to be a world champion many times over, in my opinion. I think him and Ilya Dragunov might be one of those storylines for the future. I think Ilya and Gunther will be the bigger one. It'll always be the bigger one just because the history they had. But Ilya and Breaker will also be a big storyline for years to come. And then at the end, after losing his match, I forgot to say this, Dom walked out into the back. Damian Priest laughs at him, says, "You lost in front of Rhea." And then Rhea shows up and she says, "Dom, listen, I'm not I'm not yours, you're mine," and then gives him the rose. I think she's playing him. I don't think it's going to last long. I think Dom is going to end up getting killed by maybe Rhea at the end of like SummerSlam or something, because maybe he costs her the title in an accident and she just gets so mad that she just takes him out. And then Liv tries to save him or something, and that like solidifies Liv and Dom's little thing. And that starts the breakdown of the Judgment Day, which honestly could go into a very good story. I like how that could go. We'll see. I'll let Triple H cook, because there's been a lot of times with like Triple H where you go with that, and then next thing you know, it flourishes into an amazing storyline, and it goes great. So, NXT has been cooking recently. Shawn Michaels doing great down there. The the Rascals, they reunite in a match. They beat Gallus. Good match. Fast moving. Ethan Page defends his title against Dante Chen. Wins. Now I thought a little bit of shenanigans though. Ethan Page I think is going to be great. I think he's going to have some good high profile matches in the future. Obafemi defeats Duke Hudson to retain his North American Championship. Obafemi is a different monster. He is going to be really, really good. I think he's one of those guys that they try to make the next Brock Lesnar that actually works. Of course, he's not going to be like Brock Lesnar, but he's one of those like just go in, beat you up, leave type of people. So, I think the biggest part though is just all the times Joe Hendry has shown up. Joe Hendry is starting to become a very big figure in NXT. He was the first time he went to the Battle Royale. So he's starting to get a lot of time with NXT, which I think is great because I believe in Joe Hendry, but he's going to be really good for NXT. I think he stays there for a while. You never know, maybe eventually he goes to the main roster, but I think he should stay in NXT for a while. I think he does better there than TNA, but you never know. TNA's been cooking recently too. So some of the storylines I would like to see at SummerSlam, I hope this is what happens, but I want Cody and Solo to be in a heated match, and then maybe Cody just wins cleanly, maybe a little bit shenanigans, but I just want to hear, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman," and then Paul Heyman comes back, and then he just talks, and the Bloodline start to walk up the ramp to confront him, and then just Roman Reigns' music hits. The new Bloodline members are so confused. They're like, "Oh no, what's Roman doing here?" And Roman comes out, and Roman just wrecks house. Him and Cody maybe help each other. I don't think it'll flourish into anything, but like they'll have mutual respect just because like they've gone against each other so much. Cody has given respect to Roman. Maybe Roman gives a little respect to Cody, even though they hate each other. But I think that could be a good just welcome back to Roman. They're not going to be friends at all. They might help each other a few times, but just to start, he comes back. They do a little face-off maybe, and then just Roman leads, which probably won't turn to a match because I think it's going to be Solo and Roman, the first thing back for Roman, but I think that'd be cool. And then after that, I just want to see Cody versus Randy Orton so unbelievably bad. Like, you don't understand. If Cody and Randy happen soon, it will be so good because the history between those two are so good. The last few weeks, Randy's been helping Cody out. But back in the day, Randy basically wanted to help Cody, put him into Legacy. You know, the superstars already had superstars in wrestling, and it ended up being bad. You know, they had the triple threat at WrestleMania. They had Randy beat Ted DiBiase Jr. and Cody Rhodes in the WrestleMania match, and just like halted their careers basically. But they had that storyline, and it ended up Randy coming on top of everyone. And then Cody eventually went out the company. You know the whole story, finished his story. But he comes back. Randy on the SmackDown, maybe after SummerSlam, Cody's celebrating, talking about Roman Reigns and stuff. And then Randy comes out, and he's like saying thanks to Randy for helping him out. He said, "Thank you, Randy, for being by my side." And then it ends it, and then Cody like just celebrates or something. Then he comes off the ropes, and you just see Randy just attack him and then set up an RKO, or just RKO him when he hops off the ropes. But I think this could be an amazing storyline. The next few weeks, Randy talks to Cody. He's like, "Cody, I helped you out. I basically brought you into this company." Not really, but you know, he plays off of that. He says he helps him out the most. "I brought you into this company, and I'll take you out of this company." And he runs off of that. I think that can be a great story. It's another way to get Cody just like prestige in his title. All the people who beat him in the past, all the people who said he could do nothing, he starts beating them. He starts to become... He already beat Roman, so it's like he already has prestige from the start, but just to make the rest of the title reign good, he just starts beating people who didn't believe him, doubters, and he goes into WrestleMania as champ, hopefully. And I don't know whether the title reign will be there from there, but we just have to figure out when Randy versus Cody will go and when it will happen. Because I think Bad Blood, personally, I think Cody will still be champ there. You think of people he has bad blood with, you think straight to Seth Rollins. I know they're friends, but maybe later down the line, Seth is like, "Cody, I know I helped you out at WrestleMania. I know I was your tag partner, but I'm still looking for that win against you. I still want to beat you." So they have a match at Bad Blood. That can happen way down the line. Like Seth, he might turn heel soon, because Seth, he's amazing as a face, but he's also so unbelievably good as a heel. I think some of Seth's best work was as a heel, like in the beginning of his career when he had that blonde streak. He won the title from Roman and Brock at WrestleMania, the heist of a century with the Money in the Bank. I think it could be so good, that title match, but we're going way into the future for that. We still need to figure out where Seth is going to go. Maybe Seth Rollins and CM Punk have a match at Bad Blood, because, you know, Seth has not showed any stopping of hating CM Punk, but also Drew McIntyre. Like, so many people, I mean, I know Bad Blood, like, you don't have to go straight off the name, but you think it's just going to be people who absolutely hate each other. It's like Hell in the Cell now. There's going to be the matches of Hell in the Cell there, I'm pretty sure. So you don't have to do all grudge matches, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. So after that, I already said what might happen between Rhea, Dom, and Liv. Dom accidentally screws Rhea. Rhea dumps him forever now. And maybe, I don't know. I think the only way to reinvent Dom is either turn him face, which I don't think will work for long, because I think he's just a natural heel. I think that's what Dom is. And the only way to turn him face is to reunite with his father. So, and I think the last match Ray will ever want is with Dom in any sort of capacity, like a tag team with him or just one-on-one, where Dom probably gets the win. But you don't know where that's going to go. So that, and then Damian Priest, I've said this many times, whoever went in as champion to SummerSlam is losing to Gunther. Gunther is going to have a lengthy title reign. He's going to have some great storylines. He can have some good storylines against Ilya. He can have some good storylines against Chad Gable, because Chad Gable now, I'll get into them after I'm done with Gunther. There's so many people he has beef with. He's talk trash on a lot of people. Maybe even Ludwig turns on him because Ludwig's been doing his own thing. So maybe Ludwig just goes against him. There's so many good storylines that can happen from this. Ludwig says, I helped you out for so long. I did so much for you, and where's my respect? Where's your love for me? Where's my opportunity? So he wants to go after Gunther for the title. That could be good. But that's down the line too. I'm saying a lot of things that are down the line because I just love thinking about these things. Seth, like I said, I think, personally, I want to see him turn heel. I want to see Seth as a heel again. He's so good as a heel. He does amazing work as a heel. I know I keep saying this, but it's just true. I'd love to see him go against Cody again. Everybody wants to see him against CM Punk. Reunite the feud with Drew McIntyre, even though they already did it, but you never know. Him versus Drew McIntyre is money every time. Him against Braun, him against Gunther. Seth Rollins has so many money matches that hasn't happened yet. I think one that's kind of something that might be good is him versus Andrade. I think they could put on some banger matches there. So it's just a waiting game to see what happens with him, because other than CM Punk, he doesn't really have a direction at this moment. But Seth Rollins is one of those people where you can always find something for him to do. You're not going to just let him sit. So, unless they give him time with Becky and the kid, but I don't know what the plan is there, and it's not my business. So, next, I was going to say Team Gable. I'm calling them that. I don't care what they say their name is. They're Team Gable to me. After this whole thing with the Wyatt Six happens, where I do think the Wyatt Six will come out on top, I think after that, Team Gable will try to beat Judgment Day for the titles. Maybe Chad wins a lower title. I don't think he'll win a major title for a little bit, but eventually they can. But mid-card title for Chad, tag team championships for Team Gable, that would be good. It's not going to be Team Angle, because I don't think Chad will have a title like Kurt Angle had for a while. But give him mid-card, give the Creed brothers the tag team titles. I think they can cook from what they have there. Ivy Nile, unfortunately she's on Raw, and I don't see anyone beating Rhea Ripley after she beats Liv Morgan for a title for a long time. So she'll just have some matches to help them out on the women's side. Maybe there's a mid-card title introduced. You never know. Get rid of the tag team titles. Add some mid-card titles to each one for the women's, because the women's tag team titles are kind of stinky. No one really likes them too much. Good for the people who have them. I like the team that have them now, but I don't really see it going anywhere just because the tag team titles have no prestige at all, except for the first 2 matches, basically. That's all the prestige they have. So, I don't think they're needed right now. Maybe you can bring them back later, but right now, honestly, I think it's time to put them away on the shelves and bring out some mid-card titles. Because if you had a mid-card titles for the women, I think it could help out the roster so much, because you have a bunch of women's superstars that are just main card title challengers already, and you keep recycling some of these matches. You keep recycling through the same few people. You bring a mid-card title in, those women that aren't there yet, but kind of need a leg up or are close to it but aren't in that shuffle yet. It would be very good to get them some time, because it gives them some more credibility before they go for the title. It gets them some more camera time. It gives them some more mic time. It gives them more time in general. Because NXT, honestly, I don't like the women's title order right now, but it's not bad. I like the idea. So, do you think there should be a women's mid-card title? Let me know. But I think there should be, at least on one of the brands, maybe both brands, because the women's title goes on both brands usually, so get rid of those, put them on the top shelf, don't look at them for Raw, and just bring out mid-card titles. So, I don't think there's too much to go from there with the women's title. I just don't think it ever goes somewhere. Sometimes there's some okay little storylines, like Jade and Bianca had okay ones, but it wasn't great. One of the interesting things, there's been a report that WWE might redesign the Undisputed Championships design for Bayley and Cody. Bayley, I don't think will have any special design just catered to her, just because I don't think she'll be champ for too much longer. So that one will be more just centered, just different, and not completely centered around her. Cody, I think, will get more of a design, more tailored to him, but they could just go with a new one and not make it so just Cody Rhodes, because honestly, I don't mind the undisputed title, but out of the recent title designs, it's probably not the best one. I think World Heavyweight Championship, everybody loved that one. Like, that one was loved by all the fans. So I think that one is probably the best one. The tag team titles weren't bad. I actually liked them both. Some people didn't like the Raw ones, but, you can't pick and choose. But the undisputed titles, I think that one really was just catered towards Roman because he had it for 1,000 days. He had both titles. Like, you got to do something special for him. Roman carried the company on his backpack style for a while, so he deserved one tailored to him. Cody, I could see one tailored to him. He beat the biggest, one of the best title reigns of all time, maybe even the GOAT. People have put Roman Reigns in the GOAT category. I can see where they're coming from. He could be up there. He is up there. But I said he could because I can. I think he is up there in GOAT conversation. But at least for this decade, at least for this generation, he is GOAT status. So, women's, I think, is not tailored to Bayley, just a new design. Cody has a better shot at being tailored to him just because he's so over. He's the biggest face in the company. He's going to be the biggest face for a long time. I hope they don't make him like John Cena, but I can see him being as popular as John Cena. So, we'll see where it goes from there. After that, there's not much more I think I'm going to get into. Thank you guys for watching. This has been an episode of JB Sports Wrestling Wednesdays. Have a great Wednesday. I might upload another video this week. That's not a podcast episode. It's just a normal video. And thank you guys for watching. Have a great Wednesday. I know I already said that, but I want you to have a super good Wednesday. Have a great week. Stay tuned for Friday, and bye.